Your Persian flank.
No.
Well, Persian flank is actually not the worst.
I would not pick
No,
it.
it's not the worst. I would pick it, but I'm not gonna complain about it.
Considering they force picked it.
Yeah, right.
Oh, well, yeah, well, in that case.
Sorry, are you douching right?
Yes. Yes,
No,
please.
dude, should I actually?
Yes.
I mean,
If they want to play Arabia, they get crazy
Yeah,
Arabia.
okay, fine.
Before I jump into this game, let me just give you a little bit of the setting. It's July 9th, 2023, around 5 p.m. 73 degrees outside about, and maybe a 1 to 3 mile per hour cool ocean breeze blowing in my window. And many people, given these weather conditions, would be very happy to go outside, maybe go for a walk through the park, hang out with friends. But I have friends on Discord with me, and we've decided to spend our Sunday afternoon playing what I would argue is the best game to be ever made. And so we have just been playing a few games together, playing GeoGuessr in between games while we queue up for games. And the last game we had was on Nomad. And the last few games, so some player in the enemy team dropped. So we're not taking things too seriously. None of our games have really been too serious, or they haven't gotten to the point where we've really had to be challenged. And Ray was translating some Cyrillic script that came up on when we were playing GeoGuessr. And he did not take the time to switch civilizations from Persians that he had previously had as an option when we were playing Nomad. Meanwhile, Highflyer and I were both a little bit quicker on the draw, and so we have Britons and Persians. The enemy team all picked civs. They also turned off the random option, and then Red is adding insult to injury by stealing my boar before I have even scouted it. It was right up front here, and my scouting doesn't even include that. Luckily, I have 2 boars, as you do on Arabia, so I have the option to keep going forward. So we're just in like a little relaxed state of mind, and we see that Ray has Persians. We're talking about like, yeah, Persians aren't probably not the best civ, don't have too many bonuses for archers, but they do have extra HP on their town center. So what if you just dropped your town center right next to Orange's town center, and you kind of both take yourselves out of your game? You diminish how much of an advantage Britons have over Persians in terms of archers. A little side note tangent here. There is a thing on Twitch called channel points. So I was streaming at the time. There's a thing called channel points where you can redeem the... It's kind of like the amount of... The more you watch a certain person on Twitch, you gain channel points for watching, and you can redeem it. The streamer can decide what redemptions are available. And on my stream, you can decide to request a video after you've gotten those channel points.
Yes.
And Brevin, that's a short pause there, nothing to worry about. Brevin has requested that I make a video on how to play Britons. So here I am playing Britons. I've yet to redeem myself from my terrible play with Britons. I had a, what was it, close to 34-hour stream. Effectively, it was a stream until I got a win with every single civilization back to back. And that was before the Hindustanis. I think it might have been even before Bohemians, or I forget what the DLCs were. I think there was only 39 civs in the game at the time. But it took me 4 hours to get a win with Britons. So I'm still waiting to make that video, still trying to figure out how Britons are played. So this might possibly be my game to figure it out. Meanwhile, Ray is coming forward with his 8 villagers. And if we look at his wood count, he's not quite at 275. And of course, Orange scouts this immediately. Orange also has a Drush that was ready to come forward. So even if Ray had enough wood, Orange knows this is coming. And one thing he can do is limit where Ray can place the foundation for his town center so that it's not in range. So there would be a spot right here. This orange circle is showing the range indicator for the town center. So if Ray, perchance, wasn't losing villagers, didn't have this completely scouted, he could place town center here. Does Ray actually have vision? He didn't even scout the enemy TC before coming forward. So you can tell this is very relaxed play. This is not serious play. We are not sweaty, so to speak. And so we have 2 opponent scouts. Ray's going to take the fight. And Ray did get Loom. Okay, I feel like for a moment there, Ray did not even have Loom going forward for... He's going for the opponent's berries. Nothing else on the map matters at this point. It's just about this fight. So Ray just now has enough wood. So if he can find a spot, if the opponents allow him to, he can drop a town center here. Meanwhile, everyone else is pretty much up to the next age. Orange is not yet because he was going to drush into archers. And Ray is taking TC fire. I don't know what else he's focusing on. I know that this is somewhat of a difficult activity at times, but he's not doing the best of it. If we scroll over to the KD, it's 4-3 or 3-4, not in Ray's favor. High Flyer's trying to keep his scout alive. He also has to, focus on his activity back at home. And the douche seems to have been put off. At least Ray did delete his town center. But of course, just send more villagers. That's fine. That seems like a smart approach, a very reasonable approach. Does Ray still have enough wood after making this house? He does. He has 379. Okay, so if he can find a spot, and there are plenty of spots on the other side, he should be able to drop a town center. Meanwhile, there's just a little bit of harassment on the gold there. I was able to get up with the farm, so I can get up. And interesting archery range position there, but we're still focusing on Ray here. So Ray? No. No, okay. He's still scouting around. He's still trying to find a position where he can drop his town center. And Orange is very adamant that no, you're not going to have a place where you can drop a town center. Orange is pretty much up to feudal age now. The Drush didn't accomplish too much. They are still Vill fighting. It looks like Ray's still going to lose another Vill. Yep, there goes another Vill. He's still moving his villagers around. If he can keep Britons off gold, that's pretty good. This archery range in the back is pretty funny. And Green is sending a scout. High Flyer is sending his scouts over to try to assist with this, with these shenanigans. And Orange is still very unwilling. And so this is where Ray tries to build his town center. And you'll notice it doesn't quite reach Orange's town center. And the question still is whether Ray will be able to get this up or not. The green scouts are here. Ray was thinking of dropping an outpost, but Ray still needs to get the villagers to build the town center. It is only at 39 HP at the moment, and he has very few villagers working at home. He does have food, and he has wood on wood, but will he actually get this town center up? Luckily, green scouts are here. We're all in Discord, and we're able to confirm. Yellow scouts are here as well. That scout's only 1 HP. I don't know if... Okay, Ray does notice that. He is like a 1900 player. He's not a poor... You can see on the right side, actually, our team game scores. But 1v1, Ray is 1900. He's not a bad player. On the other side, we have double range and single range. Red's being very passive and doing very interesting walls, considering... I guess this is a pretty nice wood line, so that makes it more sense as a wall. He's been very passive considering he stole my boar. And Ray has only these villagers. Orange is also very limited in what he can do. I don't think he's made a single archer yet. If we look at villager counts, Orange is at 16, Ray is at 13. But Ray does not have a town center. He needs to send forward all the rest of his economy to get this town center. That's not even in range up. It's the dumbest thing I've seen. So on this side, yeah, Red was just playing very passive. He got a tower up on his gold. So many archers that were just hanging out in his town center. I wasn't really sure what he was doing because it was such odd play. But I am a little bit trapped in this wood line, and here I see, okay, I'm just going to have to micro, try to trade evenly. He's got 5, or I've got 5. Red's got 9. And I think I maybe take 3 off of him. So not quite an even trade. No, it looks like I only get 2 off of him for the 5 that I lost. So not gonna kill me, but a little bit demoralizing to get trapped like that. And so Ray, is he gonna get his his town center up? Is he gonna get his town center up? Town center is close. This villager, is she walled in? It looks like he's gonna get it up. 95%. You know, it builds a little bit faster than a castle. Okay, it is up. And now he realizes that it's not in range, which is actually probably good for him because he has no one on wood at home to maintain this contest. So if we look at the vill counts now, 14 versus 6. Ray is effectively out of the game. So now it's up to High Flyer as Lithuanians, myself as Britons, to fight against the Vietnamese and Poles. And if we look at the vill count, and Orange says, good job. He is not happy that this is what it's come to. He wanted to play a serious game. And Ray does have an area where he can chop on wood. He is lucky enough to have that. And he did collect enough food at home. Let's look at his food count, actually. Poles is just floating a ton of food. And Ray... Oh, wait, Ray only has 30 food. I think he told me he had a ton of food. That might be a different game. We'll get to that in maybe a part 2 of the series. Meanwhile, we have Red coming in on me. I'm going to 3 ranges now to try to offset the 1 range that I was playing on for a lot of the game. 13 archers versus 17, so I do need to make up a deficit to some extent. Yellow scouts are in here. They're all fairly weak. Ray's still at 11 villagers. Not ideal. And Red's coming around. Sneaky, sneaky time. Try to get on my wood lines. Meanwhile, I just have all my archers at home in my ranges. So that's 1 villager down. Is he going to get a second? Ooh, a little bit of dodge there. Thank you, villager. Green's trying to find damage wherever he can. He's got a lot of scouts, and he's getting bloodlines and armor now at this point, too. Red's keeping his army really close to my wall so I can track it. So that's 18 versus 13 archers. I think we both have armor. Yeah, we both have fletching and armor. So that's 12 versus 18. I have the advantage if I can micro properly, which is giving me some trouble. And he's just going to run away. I didn't take any off of him. What's Red's eco look like? It's not super balanced. He's not dropping farms as quickly as he might want to. His walling situation is still quite odd, but it is effective to some degree. And he's on 2 ranges, right? Yeah. 2 ranges, a little bit more active. Yellow's going to be first up, but he is losing a lot of villagers. He did not elect to wall. He instead relied on army, but stopped making it far too quickly. I guess he wasn't expecting that Green was continuing to make scouts. Hill advantage with more archers, so I'm in a deficit. If we look at the KD that I've been contributing to, it is 6 to 12, so not doing too great. I probably should stop microing here and just run away and wait for my upgrades to come in, since I do have the advantage here. It's evening out a little bit because I get the extra range, but it's not ideal. I really should just be running away here. So it ends up being 15 to 21, not in my favor. Yellow's really down quite a lot of villagers. If we look at his KD, it's 18 to 13. But I think most of his kills are on Ray, and he's lost 4 villagers. High Flyer has 11 to 0. Really well done. Let's not even look at Ray's KD or not pay too much attention to that. Luckily, I have Town Watch, and so I can see all of this nonsense coming forward and try to trap it when it comes forward as well. Keep the villagers off the wood line by building a house. And now we have the TCs in range. I did not notice that Ray rebuilt. He does have some on wood, but Orange is also harassing his villagers. Orange has walled in a tower with stone walls, and Ray is really adamant at getting this. And the Knights are also electing to go to Ray first, the easy target. Meanwhile, green is just sending everything to yellow. He knows that yellow is the target that needs to be removed from the game. I thought I had my upgrades already, but maybe not. Katie now is any better? 23 to 29. Okay, so not as much of a deficit now. And what else is going on here? Just continuing to make archers, it looks like. And coming back a little bit. This town center, not super active. Villager... Okay, she survives, it looks like. This is... Palisade is actually limiting how much Ray can repair his town center. And normally you would not fight a town center war against Persians. But I believe in this case, because you have teammate help, it actually does make sense to try to fight this. And Ray's doing a pretty good job avoiding the knights. And the TC helping to kill the tiger. That's pretty funny. Let's see, green... I'm guessing he's just taken off a bunch of vills from yellow. If we look at the vill count, we have 45 for green and 40 for yellow. So yeah, because yellow is playing wide open, I think playing wide open with full works is just a very silly idea. So 2,600 HP for teal's TC and 1,700 for orange. So the bar might be, I guess, yeah, the bar looks higher, but the total HP on this is what gives it away. Ray trying to wall in these vill, and they don't know what to do, these yellow knights. And they're really, I guess they're a little, oh, the scouts are in here, that's what it is. So they might not be able to do too much damage to green's economy. Green, I don't mind him not walling because all of his farms are around his town center. They're far more protected or easier to protect than these full works. These full works are half active at this moment. So it's really impacting yellow's economy. And Ray's continuing to fight here. Continuing to make occasional villager. I don't know if he has any food to make any villagers. Let's cycle through. Ray has 14 food. Yeah, he's not collecting any more food. He's not collecting any more wood, to be honest, either. But he is taking up 2 players' attention. Orange isn't collecting any wood other than to repair his town center. He really should just rebuild it at this point. He has his teammate support. Continuing to fight this is not really helping him in any way. Meanwhile, what is the vill count on this side? 48 to 48, dead even. But Red's starting to make skirms, which I think is a mistake. He's on 2 ranges, and I guess he feels that because he's against Britons and he wants to use the Vietnamese a little bit better, he needs to go skirms. I think it would make more sense to go into rat and play plus crossbow, but he's decided on skirms, and I've decided on town centers. And Ray is still repairing. Does he have wood? Has he been slung wood? I feel like at this point he might have been slung wood, but I'm not 100% sure. Also, I believe the Britons can just sit here and snipe villagers as they get out, because they should have... Oh, I guess he's still in feudal age. He doesn't even have fletching. Never mind. They can't do any of that. So Ray is soon to run out of... Oh, he's been slung wood. Did I sling him wood? I'm not sure. I might have slung him wood. I know I'm building town centers. I think it must have been Pocket that was slinging him wood. So now if we look at everyone's vill count, Ray's team is ahead, but not in terms of military. So I'm coming forward here, going on to my 4th town center, whereas Red also decides to come out at the same time, though he has significant numbers of skirmishers, and he doesn't actually have Bodkin. That's a mistake. And the 2nd armor. So I think I was very confused by his walling situation. I thought he re-walled here. I didn't realize that this was open right here, and this is just like a weird feint. But he's just going to run into my town center, and he has no siege to go along with it. He's making a scorpion now. So not too much he can do there without siege. Meanwhile, Highflyer is going out for his 4th TC as well. After feeling he's done significant damage to yellow, they're both pushing back a little bit. And I think Ray is going to lose his town center now. Between all the knights and Orange's town center, I don't think that Ray has too much of an option here. Plus all the towers. If anything, Orange is overcommitted to the defense here. Will Ray be able to escape with any villagers? He has 8 of his 10 villagers here. He has 1 that escaped earlier. And we have High Flyer here. Is it really just 1 villager? And Orange says, yes. As in, like, I expect you to be defeated. But wait. But wait. Nope. Not today, buddy. So here, I asked High Flyer for some knights. He sent me 2 and kind of threw them away under town centers. And we did idle pretty much all of Red's economy, though. He's getting wheelbarrow, which will come in or handcart, sorry, which will come in very quickly with Vietnamese. I'm just trying to make up the most with these archers, since I'm kind of stuck into a corner. Trying to use the Briton extended range to do a little bit more damage. Though I guess this was still open, I kind of assumed he would have rewalled it, but he smartly put the crossbows there to heal. And I keep asking for knights, but I think the knights are just going to go under the town center and kill some villagers. But that's why we have Britons and we have additional crossbow. We can just continue to send them forward and let them keep doing damage while we have all the army distracted behind. And with the knights, we also see where we can do damage. If we look at the vill counts, we have 90 for green, 63 for yellow. High Flyer is pretty much carrying us as Lithuanians. And I guess I'm not doing too bad. I have 79 versus 53. So we keep pushing into Red's economy, pushing them further and further back. And Yellow's pinging, pinging, pinging. And I actually, at this point, didn't realize that there was both green and yellow knights there. And they were like, oh, you should go back with the army. And I was like, oh, that actually sounds like a smart idea. So Ray, with his lonely villager, still in Dark Age, has found a somewhat safe spot among these cliffs in the wilds of Arabia to drop his fourth town center now? With heavy help from his friends. Though, to be fair, Orange isn't too much further along. He's adding his second lumber camp. This first lumber camp is been well used, I guess you would say. And Yellow is, I guess, asking for support here. He's pinging, pinging, pinging. But he's still at a significant deficit from High Flyer, just between the two of them going back and forth. And they, I guess, see Green's TC there. So that's where Yellow's going to send all of his knights. Getting my gold mining very, very late and heavy plow. This is the time where Colin feels like he has a good economy and can continue pushing. What are we on? 5 full works for Yellow. 1 range for Orange. He's not really even bothering to do anything. I think for the most part, he's just fearing any knights coming through and just wiping him out. First castle on the map to secure some map position as Britons. And because we've done enough damage to Red, I'm not too worried about him going into Rattans or anything. I just don't want him to go full skirm or something. So as long as High Flyer can provide me some support, we should be in an okay position. But I do need to have something to snipe this Mangonel. I don't want to lose my entire mass before I get it to Imperial Age. I am the first one to click up, which is very nice as Britons. And luckily I have a monk as well. And of course, if you have a Lithuanian ally, make sure to give your relic to your Lithuanian ally. And I can take that knight to snipe that Mangonel. Oh, barely. Barely sniped it. And he decides, okay, maybe I should go back. I don't have any siege to push with. And he goes for a castle here. Will I notice that castle? Meanwhile, on the other side, Ray is now at 2 villagers. Though I'm not... Oh, okay, they found some deer in the corner that they could hunt. So, no vision on that castle as of yet. Though, Britons do have quite a bit of range. And I also decide to wall half the map. Just juking back and forth. Let's see what the KD looks like at this point. 90 to 88. Okay, so I've evened it out a little bit. Yellow has his knights here. So I don't really want to take a 2v1 attack there. Also, Red had a lumber camp here. This is the weirdest lumber camp I've ever seen. He has so much wood in the back of his map. In fact, High Flyer still has knights back there. I'd never do that. But he actually blocks my walls from being finished because he has villagers pathing back and forth to this terrible lumber camp. Really odd. Second castle now going up, so I can treb down this castle from red. And at one point in that game, I actually decided, or thought, is this GG? I didn't realize that orange had been put this far out of the game. His score is twice as much as Ray's, but he's not actually doing anything significant for his team. He's just making a lot of spears, and that's not going to do anything. I guess he's slowly clearing up lumber camps and such like that. But all the fight here is on the left side. And we have the military advantage, and we have the Vil number advantage, the economy advantage. Very late double bid axe here for orange, but he didn't have the opportunity to do it before then. And he's thinking he's going to go pikeman too, getting the pikeman upgrade now that he's in Castle Age. Ray, of course, now on 6 villagers, just calmly playing the boom map. I'm pretty sure he's like answering my Twitch chat at this point. He's not too worried about it. First trebuchet coming out. No worries about trickle trebbing here, since there's a... Oh, wow. Fully garrison town centers. Is that a farm TC? That is a farm TC. I guess these are... No, he could definitely place it there. He sees that. That's a farm TC. Yeah, trickle treb, since we're in the safety of the castle, it's not too much of a concern. There's not too much military on the map. If he wants to snipe those trebs, he's pretty much giving away all of his military. And that seems to be what he's deciding to do, except he goes for the Arbalest. He pretty much just throws away his knights, and he's still in Castle Age as well. I guess everyone's still in Castle Age. The next one to click up is Green, my teammate. Going for a second castle here. Not really protecting too much. I guess it's kind of out of the way. You might not notice it. And Ray is on 8 villagers now. He has 3 on this food, 2 here, 3 here now. So that's 9 villagers. Where are the rest of Ray's villagers? 6? Where are you guys? Oh, he was building outposts. I forgot about that. So they're all about... Oh my goodness. The ramp push from Green. Alright. I guess that's a thing. Orange really wanting to become helpful in this game. Going for the ramp push. I guess it distracts High Flyer to some extent. Interesting. Alright, so Orange isn't completely out of it like Ray is. But on this side, Red's not holding up too well either. Yellow is on the way to Imp as well, getting Schlachta privileges for those good knights. A note for a lot of people, don't try to get Schlachta too early. I think the Poles player did very well in this game, just other than not choosing to wall. You definitely want to wall in, even if it's big walls, to give you plenty of space for your full works. Castle going down for the Vietnamese player. He's down to 64 villagers and 1 military. Not in a great position. Going for more castles now. Just trying to drop castles everywhere as Britain's. And Ray's house continuing to get hit. That town center did go down, but Ray has plenty, or not Ray, sorry, High Flyer has plenty of military. And kind of leaving these trebs undefended at the moment. Hoping that Yellow's occupied by other things. Unfortunately, he's coming right for these trebuchets. Especially since one of the knights gets domed by a trebuchet shot. Actually, I want to rewatch that. Because I think it's like just adding insult to injury. They pick Civ. They pick Civ. They pick Arabia. And they still end up in this position. And this is just like Wolf Trebs just saying, no. No, buddy. That's not how that works. Bop! Oh, sorry, bud. You just got bopped. Oops, sorry. Go back to normal speed. And, look at the pathing. I did say it was a beautiful game at the start, but these guys were just stuttering so hard right there. Melee pathing is not in its best spot. And these knights can almost have a hard time taking out this Treb. I guess green has a few knights there to try to help. But throwing away so many knights just in the process of trying to snipe a trebuchet. Red is kind of stinks the same in terms of numbers. Orange still trying to help, but all this forward is getting cleaned up. He just kind of put a target on his back by trying to do that ram push. And another castle here, right in the middle of all the stables. Green providing support. Cavalier coming in now, a little bit late, but I guess he was just worried about getting up to pop instead. Could I wall these villas in right now? Probably be a good idea. Do get a gate down? Do I get a second gate? No, not quite. But he does take some moment to try to fight the gate instead of fighting me. And Oryx says, ask your mom. Did I miss something? She's doing great, thank you. Oh boy. So, Castle Drop did get taken out. Right, says 61st birthday. Oh boy. Castle did get denied, Doubt Castle. But Yellow's throwing a lot of army as well. So it's taking up a lot of his attention to finish this. And this is a get out of my game castle right here. On the inside of Red's buildings. I'm just castle drops everywhere. I have plenty of eco. I'm not worried. Could I have slung Ray in this position? Yes. But is it my responsibility to do so? Absolutely not. Actually, a little bit, because we did tell him to do this. And they call it GG. And that's the that's a new hope. The douche of Ray. 177 arbs, 149 cavalier. He was able to make a lot of cavalier at the end, but they were all distracted. So I guess I don't want to say well played Ray for his work, but I guess he did take Orange out of the game. I'd say well played out High Flyer, honestly, for you know, outbooming the Poles player as Lithuanians. If we look at Katie at the end, High Flyer and myself doing some good work there. Ray, not a great KD, 19 to 45. Economy, myself and High Flyer outdoing the Poles player in terms of food eco by just a tiny bit, 100. That's like, at the end of the game, that's only like maybe 10 seconds of economy. So very, very tight there. Technology, very similar since they're going for the same units. Villagers, max villagers, nothing too much going on there. I don't know. This must have been some fight there. Big spike. And Ray going down to 0 APM. So that's what I was thinking. He was probably just answering people talking in my chat.